and welcome to Dateline on Delta TV. You can also follow our news online on Facebook at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba and on YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba, or visit our website www.dbsasaba.com. I'm Esther Oputa. Governor Sharif Oberewori has said any politician who undermined or disrespected fathers of faith would be hardened for destruction, stressing that the spiritual leaders occupied a vital place in the destiny and stability of society. Governor Oberewori stated this during a special Thanksgiving service at Word of Life Bible Church, Warri, held in honor of Pastor Ayo Orishejafo and Archbishop Felix Omobude, following their survival from a recent air incident. The governor, who was accompanied by his deputy, Samondo Onyeme, the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, the Right Honorable Imomotimi Guwo, and other top government officials, said the gathering was a celebration of God's faithfulness and mercy. Governor Oberewori described Pastor Orishejafo as a spiritual father whose influence had transformed lives across the world, adding that fathers of faith continue to pray for leaders and encourage them to do more for the people. He disclosed that before leaving his former political party, he consulted spiritual leaders for prayers and blessings, expressing gratitude for God's faithfulness throughout his political journey. The governor also thanked God for preserving Pastor Orishejafo and Archbishop Omobude, noting that the clerics had continued to impact lives positively through ministry and mentorship. Speaking during the Thanksgiving service, Pastor Ayo Orishejafo recounted several near-death experiences, including surviving incidents involving aircraft and security threats, which he said demonstrated God's protection over his life. Delivering the sermon, Apostle David Zili Agre described the occasion as evidence of divine preservation, adding that Thanksgiving remained a powerful acknowledgement of God's faithfulness. Believers have been admonished to love God and their neighbors. The Assistant Parish Priest of the St. John Bosco Catholic Church, Reverend Father Ignatius Adinku, gave the admonition in his homily, describing love as the true foundation of Christianity. Henry Usiayo reports.
Reverend Father Adinku said genuine love for God must be reflected in the way people treated their neighbors, stressing that faith without compassion, forgiveness, and kindness was incomplete. The cleric noted that many societal challenges, including hatred, division, and injustice, could be addressed when individuals practice sincere love and respect for others, regardless of differences. He encouraged believers to remain committed to prayer, humility, and acts of charity, adding that Christians were called to be instruments of peace and unity in their communities. He further reiterated that love was the greatest commandment given by Jesus Christ and urged them to extend support to the poor, the vulnerable, and those in need.
For the most child, the best person is love, to keep his commandment. It's a command. It's not if you like. It is a commandment. It's a command. That this is what we must do. He has invited us to love him, to love God, to love one another. And the only way we can do it best is to lay down our lives for others, the way Christ laid down his life. To do for others that which we cannot do for ourselves. Yes, it's true. At times you go out of your way in order to do some certain things for the sake of what? Love. For the sake of love of God. I'm not saying the other one, because there is a difference between love and loss.
The priest also called on families to strengthen bonds of unity and forgiveness, saying, a society built on love for God and neighbor will experience lasting peace and progress. Henry Usiayo reporting.
The Lions Club International yesterday rounded off its 19th multiple District 404 Nigeria Convention tagged Asaba Maka 2026 with a colorful banquet in Asaba, the state capital. Henry Unogwa reports.
The multiple council chairperson of the club, Dr. Ibrahim Bello, said the convention marked the end of one lion year and the beginning of another, with opportunities for stock-taking, election of new officers, and renewed dedication to humanitarian service. He described the gathering as beneficial through fellowship and programs aimed at strengthening service to humanity.
I have the silver honor and pleasure on behalf of the Council of Governors, hereby call this banquet a night of elegance to honor. It's a night of elegance. And what I need to charge you for let's just play, sit down, relax, and play, and enjoy the night.
The district governor for District 404B3, Nigeria, Prince Josin Taiwo, disclosed that the association would expand from 6 to 7 districts next year and commended the multiple council chairperson, Dr. Bello, for successfully organizing the event.
We appreciate the Deputy Governor for having to give us this opportunity. We are clubs that have come from far and near, from every of the fairs you can actually talk about. Some have even traveled in from outside the country because we have members in diaspora. And I tell you that all of them, we attest to the fact that they've had a wonderful night, be a better, wonderful time being in Asaba. And we can't wait to come again. We've been here before, but this experience is a different one, and we can't afford to wait.
Some award recipients, including the co-chairman of the local organizing committee for Asabamaka 2026, Sir Okechukwu Ofili, expressed appreciation to the international president for the recognition, noting that the awards would inspire greater commitment to Lionism and community service.
This particular event marks the end of the Lions year and the beginning of a new one. So for us, it is always a memorable occasion to look for. Provides a lot of fun, a lot of stock-taking, election of new officers, and most importantly, we rededicate ourselves to serve humanity more than we have done in the previous year.
The ceremony featured the presentation of elected officers, including Governor-elect and Vice District Governor-elect for District 404A2, among other districts, alongside International President's Award and certificates to deserving members for their meritorious contributions to the success of the club. Henry Onogwa reporting.
Vice President Kashim Shettima has described the graduation of 12 former Chibok schoolgirls from the American University of Nigeria, AUN, as a symbol of hope for women education and national development. Senator Shettima, represented by the Executive Secretary of the National Universities Commission, Professor Abdullahi Ribadu, at the university's 17th graduation ceremony, commended AUN and the federal government for supporting the girls to obtain university degrees after the abduction by Boko Haram in 2014. He said the achievement underscored the importance of educating women for societal progress. The Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board, JAMB, says it will hold its 2026 policy meeting tomorrow to decide key guidelines for admission into the tertiary institutions across Nigeria, including the approval of minimum cutoff marks for the 2026 admission exercise. A statement by its public communication advisor, Mr. Fabian Benjamin, said the meeting will be chaired by Minister of Education and attended by stakeholders in the education sector. JAMB explained that the meeting would review and adopt admission benchmarks for universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education, including the determination of minimum acceptable scores for admission, adding that the policy meeting remains central to coordinating the nation's tertiary admission process. The board also disclosed that a delegation from Sierra Leone, led by the country's Deputy Minister of Education, Mr. Sajo Aziz Kamara, alongside Vice Chancellors of NS Bao Koroma University of Science and Technology, Professor Edwin Momo, and Njala University, Professor Bashiru Koroma, would attend the meeting to underscore the Nigeria's centralized admission system, as Sierra Leone considers adopting a similar model. The federal government has called for stronger international cooperation on migration management, migrant protection, and diaspora engagement. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Dr. Bernard Doro, who stated this at this year's International Migration Review Forum held at the United Nations headquarters in New York, said migration governance must protect human dignity and promote sustainable development. He urged countries of origin, transit, and destination to strengthen collaboration in implementing the Global Compact for safe, orderly, and regular migration while advocating expanded legal migration pathways, ethical recruitment systems, and improved labor mobility partnerships. Dr. Doro called for reduced remittance transfer costs, improved digital financial systems, and greater diaspora investment opportunities across Africa. He noted that Nigeria has strengthened migrant protection systems, reintegrated programs, and migration data management, adding that migration must be managed in ways that safeguard rights and contribute to national development. The federal government has announced a partial closure of sections of the Ikorodu-Sagamo Road from tomorrow to allow ongoing reconstruction work continue. The affected areas include Ikorodu Roundabout to Shabo Junction in Lagos, as well as the Cement to Coca-Cola axis inward Shagamu. Federal Controller of Works in Ogun State, Mr. Olayinwola Komolafe, said the directive followed an order by the Minister of Works, Senator Dave Umahi, directing Mrs. Arab contractors to resume work on critical sections of the highway for speedy completion. Mr. Komolafe explained that motorists traveling from Ikorodu to Shagamu would experience traffic diversion through the construction corridors under a counterflow arrangement. He said the reconstruction was expected to last for 3 months to allow proper execution and curing of the rigid pavement. Mr. Komolafe urged road users to cooperate with traffic officers as government expressed regret over the inconvenience. The Nigerian Medical Association NMA Anambra State Chapter has demanded the immediate release of one of its members, Dr. Edwin Emegako, who was abducted from his hospital in Nkwo last Thursday by unidentified gunmen allegedly dressed in security uniforms. The demand was contained in a communique issued after an emergency general meeting of the association and signed by its chairman, Dr. Princeton Okam, and Secretary Dr. Abiaeli Ifeanyi. The association urged the Anambra State government and the police command to ensure the safe return of the medical doctor. The NMA warned that doctors in the state would embark on a total shutdown of services if Dr. Emegako was not released within 48 hours, noting that the abductors had yet to establish contact with the victim's family, friends, or colleagues. Nigeria has recorded a decline in reported HIV cases between January and April this year amid the rollout of a new prevention intervention across selected states in the country. The development comes as the federal government intensified efforts to strengthen HIV prevention and treatment programs nationwide. Data from the National Data Repository showed a steady drop in reported cases from 8,494 in January to 7,893 in February, 7,814 in March, and 6,458 in April 2026. The decline was observed across several pilot states including Akwa Ibom, Anambra, Benue, Cross River, Ebonyi, Gombe, Kano, Kwara, and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare said the introduction of the lenacapavir, a twice-yearly injectable HIV prevention drug, had contributed to improved protection among people at risk. The ministry described the development as a significant step towards reducing new infections and advancing Nigeria's goal of ending HIV as a public health threat. Now to our food and nutrition segment. Eggs remain one of the most accessible and nutrient-rich food, widely consumed across households for their versatility and affordability. In this edition of Food and Nutrition, we'll take a close look at their origin, varieties, and health benefits. Favor Okafor tells more.
Eggs are commonly produced by domestic birds, especially chickens, though other sources include ducks, quails, and turkeys. They come in different colors, mainly white and brown, depending on the breed of the hen and various sizes. Nutritionally, however, there is no significant difference between the white and the brown eggs. Eggs are often described as a complete food because of their rich nutritional value and numerous health benefits. They are an excellent source of high-quality protein containing all the essential amino acids needed for body growth, tissue repair, and overall development. This makes them especially important for children, pregnant women, and people recovering from illness. Beyond protein, eggs contain important nutrients such as vitamins A, D, and B12, which help support vision, bone strength, and brain function. They are also rich in choline, a nutrient essential for memory and cognitive development. Eggs also contain antioxidants like lutein, which promote eye health and may help reduce the risk of vision-related problems. They can be boiled, fried, scrambled, or used in preparing pastries, sauces, and several everyday meals enjoyed in Nigerian homes. Although eggs contain cholesterol, health experts say moderate consumption, about 1 egg per day, is generally safe for healthy individuals and does not significantly increase the risk of heart disease. Proper storage and thorough cooking are important to prevent foodborne illnesses, while raw or cracked eggs should be avoided.
I like egg because egg is used to give protein. I like it fried.
I love it boiled. Since I was born, I've been eating boiled egg.
For me, I feel it's more faster than fried or the rest. I prefer boiled.
Eggs continue to serve as an affordable and nutritious food option, contributing significantly to a balanced and healthy diet. Favor Okafor reporting.
Now we go to our global scene. Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, has warned the United States against attacking its oil tankers again and threatened heavy retaliation on American assets in the region. Commander of the IRGC Aerospace Force General Majid Mosavi said that Iranian missiles and drones were already locked on U.S. targets and enemy ships. He said the warning was meant to deter further strikes. General Mosavi stated that Iran's military was only waiting for the command to strike if further attacks occurred, stressing that any fresh assault on Iranian tankers would trigger a strong military response for Tehran. In a separate statement posted on X, the IRGC Navy Command repeated the warning, adding that Iran could target American military centers and naval vessels in the region. The development added that to rising tensions between both countries, with analysts noting that the exchange market a sharp escalation in rhetoric between Tehran and Washington. The latest threat came amid growing fears of a wider conflict in the Middle East following recent exchanges involving Iran, the United States, and allied forces in strategic waterways. Regional observers warned that miscalculation could draw more actors into the conflict and disrupt global energy supply routes. British Army medics have parachuted onto the remote South Atlantic island of Tristan da Cunha to assist a British national suspected to have hantavirus. The man reportedly left the virus-hit cruise ship MV Honduras in mid-April before developing symptoms weeks later. The Ministry of Defense said oxygen and medical supplies were also airdropped to the island, where stocks had reached critical levels. Tristan da Cunha, home to just 221 residents, had no reported case, and no airport and can only be accessed by sea. 6 antivirus cases linked to the cruise ship have been confirmed, including 2 Bristol currently receiving treatment in the Netherlands and South Africa. 3 deaths had also been recorded since the outbreak began on board the vessel. UK officials said the infected British resident on the island remained in stable condition while in isolation. Authorities added that the risk to the general public remained very low as monitoring and containment measures continue. Now for some sports. The national female under-20 team Falconets have qualified for the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in Poland despite losing 1-2 to host Malawi in the second leg played on Saturday. The coach Moses Aduku tutored side had won the first leg 2-0 at the Remo Star Stadium, Ikene, Ogun State, and needed a draw to qualify without losing throughout the qualifying series. The dream was almost dashed as the Scorchers, as the Malawian female under-20 team is called, raced to the lead in the early minutes of the first half. The South African nation returned in the second half and doubled their lead in the 55th minute, but a 62nd minute strike by Precious Oscar restored hopes for the Falconets, who held on to advance on a 3-2 goal aggregate. The Falconets joined defending champions North Korea, Japan, United States and America and Spain, among others, to book their ticket for the biennial football fiesta in Poland scheduled for September this year. Now to our thought for the day. Be careful how you live. You may be the only Bible some people ever read. And that's it on Dateline this evening. Many thanks for your time. I am Esther Oputa. Good night and have a beautiful night rest. God bless you.